Making movies is hard.
As someone who played with Barbies,
Here we celebrate.
it's one of the best action sequences ever recorded. Turn the sound up, just blast the hair right off your nuts. Hello, Dennis. What
Tom
up,
Cruise.
Deba? The one, the only. I'm not gonna say like the best or the last, but like when I think of Tom Cruise, it's just movie star. They don't make them like that anymore, and I feel like they used to be a little more common. Who's the guy in Bullet?
Steve McQueen.
Steve McQueen, I feel like, was like a movie star, you know? Tom Cruise just feels like, first of all, he helped me fix my TV. Like, I listened to Tom Cruise, and I followed his directions, fixed my TV, thank you.
Yeah.
Anytime
Thanks,
he
Tom.
does a video where it's like, I made this for you, I feel like he's looking into my soul, and I tear up a little bit, because I'm like, you did, Tom. Like, I appreciate him so much.
I don't know when like the turn happened and suddenly him putting his life in danger time and time again to take our breaths away, right, at the movies. I'm not sure like what year that was.
Here's my theory. This isn't my hot take for the movie, but I think Tom Cruise actually died about 7 or 8 years ago doing a stunt. And what we're watching now is some kind of cyborg or AI or something, because like the things he does in these movies is unreal.
It's unreal. It's breathtaking. He's, in my opinion, the last true not only movie star but like action movie star, right? And he does things at a level and a commitment level that is I can't what he means to I think both of us and movie making. I just you can't even like come up with a number. Top Gun Maverick came out and arguably saved the industry, right, last year.
Yep.
And then now, like, we're talking about Mission Impossible, and like he's really taken this franchise, you know, to an unbelievable level. Where like he said something recently, I see Harrison Ford making Indy, you know, at 80. He's like, I'm gonna keep doing these movies as long as I can, which is such a relief. Harrison Ford's my favorite actor of all time. I don't know what I would do without him in my life, which is a crazy thing to say, but it's true. And like the same thing goes for like what Tom brings. Like I truly will be missed when that time comes. So you got to cherish every little moment in every little video, like his video talking about the TV, like you said, or his videos that they play at like Comic-Con or whatever, you know, where he's like on the side of a biplane, you know, in the air. And he's like, thank you all for going to the movies. You know, I'll see you later. And then the plane takes a dive.
But Tom Cruise still sells his movies in a way where you think this is like just I don't know, there's like a realism to it.
Yeah.
You know, watching him jump between buildings and break his ankle, you're just like, holy
Tom Cruise.
like that happened.
Take my money. I'm
Yeah.
coming. So just so everyone knows that is checking out our shows here, like the reason why we have Tom Cruise bleeping out our swears is just an appreciation for what he gives us at the movies.
And then the first Mission Impossible came out. This is a good segue to my like take for the episode or the show. The first Mission Impossible came out in what, 99, 2000? Do you know?
I feel like it was 97.
97? Right. So, in terms of franchises, I'm going to say, and I don't think this is a hot take, that Mission Impossible is my favorite franchise.
What are some...
Fast and the
like...
Furious. Well, come on. It's a franchise. There's like 12 of them. Harry Potter.
Yep.
I would argue that anything with more than 3 films. So, like, you know, Lord of the Rings plus The Hobbit, maybe you could put into a franchise. Star Wars.
James Bond.
The Bond films, yeah. Would you call all the Marvel movies a franchise?
Yeah.
You would? Yeah. What about the Hunger Games? How many were there?
There was more than 3.
Yeah. How many Die Hards are there?
One too many.
Yeah. Well, Harry Potter used to be at the top. And then I think...
Oh, really?
For me, yeah.
Okay,
and then
cool.
I think with the last, like, 3 installment, whenever Fallout came out, that's when I was like, okay, like, you've got me, Mission Impossible. This is my... If
So I'm a big fan of the first one. Like I truly, truly, truly love the first one. But
the
I think
first
we
movie,
both,
it's incredible. Yeah.
yeah. But I think we both can say that Fallout was like just top of the mountain, probably.
It's a film, like it's not just an action thing.
It's fan question time.
Fan question time. Okay, who's the fan today?
So this is from Tom.
Cruise? Tom Cruise wrote in.
This is from Tom.
Write him back. Write Tom back and say,
Tom,
so glad you're a fan. We're fans of you.
Tom would like to know. This is an easy one. This is a softball for us today.
Okay.
Tom would like to know what our favorite sequence was from the film, and why. And I think Tom has a good point. And I think moving forward, we should probably be talking about this anyway.
That's a segment.
So future fan questions. Come up with something else because we'll already be talking about our favorite sequences.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think on the count of three, we both say our favorite sequence because I think it's the same one, but I don't want to say anything. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Train.
Airport.
Oh, airport with the. Oh, that was pretty good. The airport scene was
Tom Cruise.
Incredible.
You know what? I think the car chase might have been my favorite.
Well, that was the funnest moment of the film. It's such. You have this intense action sequence, and the whole time, for the most part, the camera's just trained on their faces, and you're seeing them.
We're seeing real angles of them doing it. Like we're seeing Tom like one-handed, like drifting, through those streets and driving on cobblestones, and especially when they get into the smaller car, it's like you feel like they're gonna tip over. And then that whole funny segment where
they're doing the donuts and stuff,
driving in circles around the other car, like lost my shit. But I do want to shout out like some of these smaller moments. Like I thought like when he's fighting in
the little alley.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was incredible. Yeah.
When he's fighting with Palm, like that to me was so like they made it very claustrophobic.
It was a little brutal, but it was in a good way.
In a good way,
you
for
felt
sure.
It. Yeah. It's interesting that our two favorite sequences were not shown beforehand.
Yeah, because you want to be surprised.
It's just a note. That's all.
You want to be surprised, yeah.
Okay, tell me what you liked about the airport.
What's fun about the airport is like the back and forth, right? Of all the things that are going on, and the confusion, and the stress, right? And you've got Simon Pegg's character dealing with something.
Oh my god, Benji,
Tom dealing with something.
Yeah.
You've got the introduction of the villain in an interesting way. A new character, right? And Haley Atwell's character, right? She's
so
kind of
good.
But what I loved about that was that the more intimate nature of it was like the communication mistakes, the moving around the airport, dodging this, dodging that, the tension with Benji, right? So like to me, it was just a masterful sequence of cutting and moving about and having our characters in fun, unique situations. Train sequence. Talk to me about that.
Something about various carriages slowly falling off a cliff as people have.
Just so everyone knows, we're talking about the end of there's a train sequence in this movie that's like 20 minutes long, but we're talking about.
I'm talking about the very end when it's falling off the bridge.
Right.
And they're having to climb up, having them crawl through the various compartments as like the piano's about to fall.
It was out of control.
And they have to jump. When they go through the kitchen and things are on fire, like I was just on the edge of my seat for 20 minutes, just like, oh my god! Like every time they jumped, I felt like I jumped a little bit. Like grab that, It was just a master class in whatever the hell you call that scene. Like it was so expertly done, and it's the kind of scene I don't know if I could. I mean, I'll watch it again. But I don't know if I want to because I was just so like, oh god, ooh! I mean, they're gonna make it, but you don't know if they're gonna make it because it's just incredible.
It was relentless. It was nonstop. It was something different every time. And my favorite thing about it was actually going back to Palm's character, right, who was Paris. Like I really loved that she helped them.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you think she's dead? Do you think she's actually dead?
I think they said she was alive, no? I'm pretty sure they said that she was still alive. I think it would be a mistake. I really hope that she is a part of their team on the next one because she was fantastic. But speaking of death, I think we can talk really quick. I'm a massive Rebecca Ferguson fan. I absolutely loved what she brought in the last two movies. A couple of things about this. I don't know how you feel, but I think she's still alive. And I could understand where people would be like, oh my gosh, nobody dies anymore in this franchise. Like, I get that. But the way she died, like, they really set this up in a way of like thinking she was dead in that not opening scene, but the desert sequence, right? Like, we think she's dead, and then she ends up not being dead, right? Yep. They've already laid that hand out there, like that play. The second callback, though, goes back to the first movie where, John Voight's character was on the bridge and he died, apparently, and then came back to life later.
Gets shot. Yes.
Gets shot and falls over.
Yes.
And it was very fascinating to me of the sequence that we had. Notable character apparently died on a bridge after seeing the character fake die earlier in the film. Call back to the first movie. Is she really dead? And I'm going to say no. I'm sorry, but I'm not able to generate a multiple choice question.
Hey, that's George 2 Skynet 0. It's probably because it's scared. It's been listening through our smart devices, and it knows this guy's just too smart. I don't have the capabilities. He's obviously a scientist. Look at those glasses.
This is good because you haven't seen this movie in a while. Okay, so this is from the third film.
Mm-hmm. Wait, this is about the third film?
I asked Skynet for a Mission Impossible franchise hard trivia question, okay? And this is the first thing that they said. So
Tom Cruise.
You gotta figure this out. What is the name of the villain played by Philip Seymour Hoffman in Mission Impossible 3? Is it A, Owen Davian? Is it B, Kurt Hendricks? Is it C, Solomon Lane, or D, August Walker?
Tom Cruise.
Solomon Lane, I recognize, but I feel like that's not from the third film. I mean, I gotta go with C because that's the only name I recognize, but I feel like that's from like a different film.
Is that your final answer?
Final answer.
You are incorrect, sir. Skynet wins. Solomon Lane is the villain from both Fallout and
I
Rogue
thought
Nation.
so.
It's A, Owen Davian.
All right, well, knowing we were going to do Mission Impossible, I rewatched one of my favorite Tom Cruise performances, which is Magnolia. As specifically the scene where he's kind of talking to his dad. He's breaking apart with his dad.
Uh-huh.
And what struck me is how much Tom, the actor, is able to say with his facial expressions. And I was just like, God damn.
So are you going to present to us your top 10 faces of Tom Cruise?
Not of Tom Cruise. So, yeah, I went a little bigger because I thought of another one, too, that's always stuck with me ever since I saw it. So this is the top 10 faces that say it all in movie history. The Slop 10.
Say it all. Holy
that just, like,
guacamole.
Not say it all, that say so much, and you could spend hours talking about what they mean to the character.
Let's go, baby.
Film.
LFG.
You ready? So number 10, Jack Nicholson as he's watching his wife and son play in The Shining. This is before he's gone psycho, and you're just like, wow.
What a shot, too, of this moment that you're talking about.
Number 9, Sound of Metal.
It's with
the drummer Riz Ahmed,
Riz,
where he's
yeah.
losing at the end of the movie. He's sitting in the park enjoying the fact that he could hear again when his implants start going wacky, and he turns them off, and he sits in silence for a minute on this bench. It's the way the movie ends, and it's so powerful on his face. Number 8, I would argue any character in A Quiet Place, but specifically Emily Blunt when she's going through labor in that bathtub.
Yeah.
Because there is just a lot going on. All timer. Okay, number 7, Call Me By Your Name. At the end of their phone call, Armie Hammer says, I remember everything, like about their romantic fling, and he hangs up, and Timothée Chalamet sits there in silence, staring at the fire, and slowly starts to cry. Doesn't say anything. It's like a 2-minute scene. Oh my god. Number 6, Clarice getting hunted at the end of Silence of the Lambs.
Oof.
There is so much on her face during that night vision sequence that's
Good one.
just like out of control. Oh, look at you agreeing with me. Number 5, Frances Ha. Greta Gerwig, halfway through the movie, her character is talking about how she wants a relationship where two people could share a look through a party. They don't have to say anything, but it just says a lot, and they understand each other and whatever. And she's looking for love, and she's making mistakes the whole movie. And at the end, her and her friend share this look. It's like the last scene of the movie. They're at a party, and they share a look, and it's what she's been talking about the whole movie, and it's incredible. Number 4, any of the scenes from Portrait of a Lady on Fire, which is the best period French lesbian drama ever made. It's the most like sensual looks you could imagine. This top 10 list, you got nowhere on me. Fine. Number 3, Paul Reiser at the end of Whiplash, when he's starting to play and he's peering through the curtains, and at first he's like, oh, he's doing it, and then it turns in this look of horror.
Crazy
he has
moment.
a similar look in Aliens after he betrays everyone and he turns around. So Paul Reiser kind of gets 2 for 1. Number 2, all-time classic, Laura Dern seeing dinosaurs in Jurassic Park.
Good one.
I mean, you can't. That look is just out of control. But the number one looks that say it all is actually shared by 5 different actors. And it's in Boogie.
What? Boogie
5
Nights?
different Boogie Nights. The first scene with Dirk Diggler when Nicole Parker, John C. Reilly, William H. Macy, Philip Seymour Hoffman, and Burt Reynolds all realize like what they got. I mean, that scene, they're all just like staring in awe at this creation. And I wanted to give some honorable mentions, which you might not agree with, but that's okay. Ben Affleck at the end of Good Will Hunting when he realizes that Matt Damon's character's left.
I was
And
going
at
to
first
suggest that one, yeah.
First he's confused, and then he's like, oh, you did it. Another one, Nala to Simba after they wrestle. You know the famous look.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's just like, oh,
Tom
shit,
Cruise.
these two are gonna...
Tom Cruise.
And then another one that still I get nightmares about is Javier Bardem when he's choking out that cop in No Country for Old Men.
Oh.
And he's sitting, and he's just like, this guy's a psychopath. And he's just sitting there choking him. Anyways.
One that came to mind, though, and I know he does some talking, but Tom Hanks's facial expression and body expressions at the end of Captain Phillips is like out of control, that whole sequence.
Well, or you could do Castaway.
Yeah.
He barely says anything, and you are glued to the screen, which is just incredible.
The point is not necessarily like what are the best of the best. It's what are the ones that affected you the most when you were experiencing that. Matthew McConaughey looking at his daughter at the end of Interstellar, that like just that connection right there, like that crushed me. Thanks everyone for watching. Leave a like, subscribe. Please send us your questions at 2d1fshow@gmail.com.
Peace. Deuces.